Now the summer is here, and my daughter's volleyball season has come to an end. It's time to work on some projects in the fish barn. So today I want to take you into the fish barn, show you some of the projects that I've been working on, and give you some fish updates that I think you'd be interested in as well. So let's go ahead and dive into it. One of the things that I've wanted to do for a while is open up the upstairs portion of the fish room and increase the amount of table space and workspace that I have available. This is what the fish room started at before the project started. This is what it looks like now. I've taken down the middle section of shelving and moved the storage containers underneath the large table that I built in the barn. I also relocated the portable air conditioning unit to a different location so you can walk all the way around the table. Even though this has been set up for only a few days, I really do enjoy the new layout. Along with opening up the space, I continued a project that I started over Christmas and continued to rebuild some of the stands in the upstairs of the fish barn. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of the original tanks here, but they were a 29-gallon long with 3 20-gallon highs on top. I decided to relocate the other fish to other open tanks and rebuild a new stand with a 70-gallon on the bottom with a 29-gallon and 20 high on top. So I do want to talk about what I ended up putting in these tanks as well. So let's start with the 20-gallon high that I decided to move in my Xiphophorous Andersi, which is one of the rarest fish in my fish room. Since these fish are so rare, I really wanted to showcase them in a more prominent manner, and I thought a tank in this size, turned long ways, would do that quite well. I'm hoping to spend a little bit more time viewing these fish, and hopefully I can get some more fry in the near future. The 29-gallon next door is home to my Cracodon audax, or Black Prince Goodeid. This is a fish that I've had for some time, but unfortunately have not been able to breed them. Back in April, I did add 2 additional pairs of this fish to the colony to try and spur some spawning activity, but unfortunately I lost 2 of the males. I don't know exactly what happened, but my guess is that they passed away due to territorial disputes and aggression. I'm hopeful that moving these fish to a larger space and a change of scenery will help encourage them to spawn. I'll keep you updated on how that works out. The 70-gallon tank on the bottom was born out of necessity, as my Cyprichromis Microlepidotus have grown quite a bit over the last few months, and I felt it was time to move them out of their current 29-gallon home. I'm hoping to see some more growth on these fish, and hope someday to see some colors on the males. I'm still currently at odds at the moment on what I'm going to do with the other inhabitants of the 29-gallon tank, the Limia nigra fasciata and the Venezuelan cories. I may temporarily move these fish into this tank as well, as I continue to move fish around and continue to work on some other additional projects in the barn. I do have some house projects to do over the summer, but I hope to have some time to continue to redo some additional stands and rearrange some tanks on this side of the wall of the fish barn as well. I do want to give you an update on some notable things that have happened with the fish that I picked up at the ALA as well. The first thing I want to talk about are these 10 Spot Livebearers. I'm not sure how well the camera will pick them up, but I've started to see some fry from these fish, which is something I'm pretty excited about. Hopefully the fry will survive so that I can bath these fish at my local club, and at some point get some of these fish out to my fellow hobbyists. I also want to talk about the Allotoca Gosilinei. I picked up 2 pair of these fish at the Goodeid Working Group auction and placed them in a 20-gallon long with just a sponge filter and some Java moss. To my surprise, these fish have really put on some size, and in my estimation have almost doubled in size since I purchased them. This is probably one of the largest and fastest growth spurts that I've seen in any of the fish that I've purchased. I figured that breeding these fish might take a while, but at this rate, maybe they'll spawn sooner than expected. While I didn't mention the other 2 species that I purchased that weekend, both of those species have settled in quite nicely, are doing well in their new homes. In the video where I talked about the fish that I picked up at the ALA, I did talk about moving these Berlin black swordtails to a different tank. And as you can see, these fish have now been relocated into this 75-gallon tank. I was able to relocate the hodgepodge of the fish that lived in this tank prior to a new tank, which opened this tank space up. This has worked out nicely since I really do want a large space for these large swordtails. I was also able to move a pair of Yucatan sailfin mollies into this tank as well, so hopefully we'll see some bigger swordtails as well as some bigger mollies here in the near future. I do want to talk about one last fish, and that are the Xenotoca Variata. I have spoken quite a few times on this channel about Goodeids not breeding once they get older, and that was the case with these fish since I've had this group going on about 3 years now. Thankfully, back in February, I was able to get another small pair of these fish, and thankfully, I started seeing some fry a few weeks ago, which is something I'm pretty excited about. I have a couple of other Goodeid species in the fish barn right now that are in the same situation that these fish were, so I'll have to keep my eye out for some younger fish to add to those colonies as well. I really hope you enjoyed all the updates from the fish barn. I'm really happy with the progress in the fish barn so far this summer, and hopefully I can finish the upstairs portion before the summer is over and things get busy again. So with that, enjoy your 4th of July, stay safe, stay fishy, and I'll catch you on the next video.